For this video, we want to change the order of integration and then evaluate the double integral. So as it is right now, we want to start the integration with this inner integral here that goes from 0 to the square root of 4 minus x squared. And the first integration is with respect to y. And you have a function of y here. Because you have the square root of 4 minus y squared, this will involve a trig substitution. And it would be something like this: y is equal to sine, I should say 2 sine theta d theta. Well, y equal to sine theta. Then if I take the derivative, then I get a dy is equal to 2 cosine theta d theta. And then you proceed just like a regular trig substitution. But they tell you to change the order of integration. You can try this, and you can get an answer to the first part, but it gets kind of difficult to go through and get another integral and take the integral with respect to x. That's why they tell you to change the order of integration. So we want to do it in terms of dx and then dy. So as is right now, this x here corresponds to the outer limits here. So we got x going from 0 to 2. And then for the y goes from y equals 0 to y equal the square root of 4 minus x squared. Now keep in mind that if you take y and set it equal to square root of 4 minus x squared, let's square both sides. Get y squared is equal to 4 minus x squared. Taking the minus x squared over, we get x squared plus y squared. This will equal 4. And this would be a circle centered at the origin, 0, 0. It will have a radius of 2. So this would be the point 2, 0. Over here we have the point minus 2 and 0. Up here it would be 0, 2. Down here it would be 0 minus 2 because the radius is 2. So now if I take the circle here now, so this is what I just said, x squared plus y squared equal to 4. Circle of radius 2 with center at the origin. If I solve for y, I get y is equal to plus or minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. The positive gives me the upper half, right over here. Minus the square root of 4 minus x squared gives me the bottom half, like here. Now if you solve it for x, the positive value, x equal to positive the square root of 4 minus y squared, gives me this right half over here on the right side of the axis. And x equal minus the square root of 4 minus y squared gives me the half on the other side. So in order to change the order of integration, we need the region of integration. We're going to be in the first quadrant here because everything's going from 0 on. So let's look at this right here. Well, let's look at the x. X goes from 0 to 2. 0 to 2, right there. And then we look at the y. Y goes from 0 to the square root of 4 minus x squared. That would be this over here. So basically we're talking about this region right here. That's the region of integration. Because x is between 0 and 2. It's over here. And the y, you can draw a vertical strip here. So it goes from 0 to this distance. What distance is that? It's the square root of 4 minus x squared. Now because we want to change the integration here, then we're going to go here. We want the dx to be first. So we start on the left side, and this distance then for the x, this is now going to be dx, dy. So go from here to the curve. But what is this distance here? Now vertically it would be this distance, y equal to the function in terms of x. But if you're going in the x direction this way, x would equal to the square root of 4 minus y squared. So the y would still go from 0 to 2. So right here, this will be 0 to 2, and the x is this right here. So this is going to be the square root. This will go from 0. From the boundary on the left will be x equal to 0. This will be 0, and this will be 4 minus y squared. And we still got the 2 here, and this is the square root of 4 minus y squared. Now here we're integrating with respect to x. So keep in mind that the y is constant, so we treat this as a constant number. So if I integrate with respect to x, I still got the outer limit, integral, with limits 0 to 2. And this gives me then 2x here. And that's over the square root, the regular function we started off with, 4 minus y squared. And then I integrated with respect to x, just gives me an x there. So I get this. And then this is evaluated from 0 to the square root of 4 minus y squared. And then I have the dy. And again, you can work these out separately. And then whatever you could put it there. But in this case, it's fairly straightforward because it's still 0 to 2. This is 2x over the square root of 4 minus y squared, evaluated from 0 to the square root of 4 minus y squared. So notice what's going to happen here. Well, I'll go ahead and do it over here. I'm replacing the x by the square root of 4 minus x squared. Put the x there, the value of square root of 4 minus y squared there for the x. I got 2 times the square root of 4 minus x squared, but that's, remember, over the square root of 4 minus, and this is a y squared here also. But notice this cancels. And then it's minus the value at when x is equal to 0. But when x is equal to 0, the numerator is 0, so this is just minus 0. So if I proceed here, this is equal to the integral from 0 to 2 of what I got for the integration with respect to x, and that was just a plain old 2. Now we're integrating here with respect to y. Integrate with respect to y, this is going to be 2y. Evaluate from 0 to 2. Put a 2 there, we get 4. Subtract the value at 0, but 0 times 2 is 0. So the answer to this problem is 4. Now, you could probably do it without changing the order of integration, but it's not going to be this easy. And that's why they told you to change the order of integration. Now, if they don't tell you anything, you proceed and say, okay, I'm going to assume that I can integrate with respect to y, or it could be with respect to x. And if you can integrate it, then keep going. But if you get stuck at the start, even if they don't tell you, just change the order of integration, and you'll have to create your region so you can play around with the limits of integration. So in this case, they went from what I have here, 0 to 2 to 0 to square root of 4 minus x squared. It went from 0 to 2, and 0 to the square root of 4 minus y squared. Okay, anyway, this is the answer right here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.